Let's talk about grading. I get a lot of questions from newer teachers. Usually, a teacher has their grading policy in place in the second or third year, but a lot of first and second, and sometimes third year teachers have questions about grading. Specifically, what do you do for extra credit? Do you allow retakes? Do you allow test corrections? What exactly do you do to keep grading equitable for all of your students? So I'm going to talk to you and share my opinions with a few of those. I've been doing this 27 years, and the one thing that I've learned over those 27 years is there are as many opinions about extra credit, retakes, and test corrections there are students and teachers on the planet. One thing I definitely believe is that extra credit should be content related. It should be related to your curriculum. Offering extra credit for things like bringing in tissues and other supplies that you might be requesting doesn't make a lot of sense to me as far as offering extra credit. It's not equitable. Those who have a lot can bring in plenty of extra credit, and those who are without can't. So, in addition to, I think that since this is school, we definitely need to link it to our curriculum. So, I have two ways that my students are allowed to earn extra credit. They can take photographs of Florida native creatures. Since I teach environmental science and ecology, I want them to understand the difference between Florida natives and Florida non-natives. So the students take pictures of animals in their yards and neighborhoods, upload them to iNaturalist, and determine if they're Florida native or non-native. And then for the Florida native species that they have, there's a point sheet for the extra credit they can receive each 9 weeks. And I maximize it at two per species of animal because I don't need somebody bringing in 50 frogs or taking pictures of 50 frogs and earning extra credit that way. So I limit it to two, and they take pictures of Florida native animals to earn extra credit. That is one way that I offer extra credit. The second thing they can do is if they're not outdoorsy and they don't want to go out and take pictures of Florida native animals and plants, they can write articles. And I don't ask them to type them up. I don't want it cut and paste. They have to handwrite one full page, and I want a critique. I don't want a summary of what they learned. I want to know, do they agree with the author? Do they disagree with the author? What have they learned from it? Why is it relevant to the course? And why should they get points for it? Now, I've allowed those two things for probably the 27 years I've been teaching. And the second or third year, what I found is that the students who were desperate for grades would come in with stacks and stacks of articles. Sometimes they'd come in with 30, 40 articles to try to save their grade. So to keep that equitable, I want to allow them to earn some extra credit, but I don't want them to be able to just write articles and pass the course without doing any work. So what I came up with is they can earn up to a maximum of 100 points extra credit per 9 weeks. That works out well for my course the way it's built up. You may have to adjust to your course. And then for each assignment that they don't turn in, I adjust down the number of extra credit points they can earn, the amount they're eligible for. So if a student turns in all of their work, they can earn 100 points. If they're missing one assignment, they can earn 80 points. If they're missing two assignments, they can earn 60 points. If they're missing five assignments, they are not eligible for extra credit anymore for that 9 weeks. And then everything resets per 9 weeks. But that keeps it fair and equitable as well, as far as I don't want students to be able to earn an A if just off of extra credit when other students have been studying. I hope that gives you some ideas, and I hope that helps. I will also talk about test corrections and retesting in just a second. Several different classes over the last 27 years. As far as students go, the classes have ranged from some of the highest performers in the nation to students who've struggled to pass their first science class. So I have different policies depending on the class as far as test corrections and test retakes. Generally, I don't believe in test retakes unless it's something they need 100% proficiency in, something like I do have them take the field safety test before they not catch extra credit, but take pictures of extra credit. They have to pass that with a 100. The first grade that they score is the one that goes in the grade book, and then they have to continue taking the test until they pass it with 100% proficiency. As far as other tests go, with my high performers and my college-bound seniors and juniors, I don't allow retakes. They can do extra credits to get their points if they need them. Um, as far as some of my other classes where I've had students who've struggled to pass their first science, I will allow test corrections. But when they complete the test corrections, if it's something like a multiple choice test, they have to write out the question and then write out the correct answer. Just if the answer is A, I don't want them to just write A. I want them to write out the entire sentence and the correct answer that goes with it so that they understand it. And then what I do is I give them half credit. So for instance, if you have a 50 question multiple choice test and they score 50% on it, getting 25 questions correct, I will allow them to correct the other 25 points for 1 point each instead of 2 points each. Thus, they can score 75 on it. Hopefully you follow me on that. If you have any questions about that, you can drop a comment and I'll be happy to address it. In my opinion, giving full credit is unequitable to students who have studied and sends the students the wrong message as far as test corrections go. If the students who studied the first time, they should be rewarded for scoring a good score. But having said that, I also believe that you should have the opportunity to make corrections in certain classes if that helps the students understand the material better. I hope this helps. A lot of these are just my opinion. I'm sure there's varying opinions, and some people may drop some comments below. And keep being heroes out there. Appreciate all you do, and talk to you soon.